All right, so this week we're going to be reading a fable, folk tale, and I know you're all familiar with that because we talked about fables and folk tales while we were in school. So we're going to read about two brothers whose lives take different paths, and they're from Vietnam. So this week I want you to focus. I'm going to read this book. You are free to read this book on your own. I have assigned this book to each and every one of you, but I decided to also read it with you as well. All right, so let's go ahead and start. The Brothers and the Starfruit Tree, a tale from Vietnam. Once upon a time, two brothers lived with their parents in a village in Vietnam. Over the years, the father worked hard and grew quite wealthy. He acquired much land and a fine house. The brothers grew up in the same house with the same parents, yet they were very different. One brother was content with a quiet, modest life. The elder brother always wanted more wealth, more lands, and a bigger house. In time, the parents grew frail and died. The elder son, now married, chose how the estate would be divided. Being a greedy man, he claimed most of the inheritance. He took the house, most of the land, and all the money. He sent the younger brother to live in a small house on a small piece of land. Some brothers might have complained about how unfair this was, but the younger brother was content with his good wife and his simple life. One lonely tree grew on the younger brother's land. This star fruit tree would be a disappointment to most people. Its golden fruit was small and sour tasting, but the younger brother saw its promise. He watered the tree every day. He trimmed its dead branches in hopes that they would grow. He longed to have it produce large amounts of fruit. Then he could sell the fruit and make a comfortable living. Meanwhile, the elder brother enjoyed his wealth. He didn't worry about a thing except how to spend his money. The star fruit tree flourished under the younger brother's care. It grew tall and strong. When summer came, its branches drooped with the weight of the fruit. Once the star fruit was ripe, the younger brother prepared to harvest it. But something stopped him. Each day, a very large raven alighted in the tree. It would eat its fill, moving from fruit to fruit. With each bite, the raven destroyed that piece of fruit. The raven was also destroying the man's hopes of earning a living. The younger brother and his wife were disheartened. One day, they stood by the tree watching the raven eat. "What are we going to do, husband?" asked the young man's wife. "Every day, the raven returns and eats the ripe fruit. If this continues, we may go hungry this winter." "I know, my dear, but the raven must be hungry to come back every day. Once winter comes, there will be no food for the raven to eat. At least we may be able to find other sources of food," he observed. The raven, hearing the couple talk, perched on a low branch and spoke to them. "Don't worry about using this fruit to make a living. I will reward you for sharing it with me," said the raven. The couple stepped back in fear. Finding his voice at last, the man said, "We are happy to share with you, but we had hoped to have some fruit to sell. Otherwise, it would be a bitter winter for us." "Trust me," said the raven, "I will repay you for the fruit and for your trust. Here is what to do. Go home and make a sack that is exactly 3 feet long. Bring the sack to the tree tomorrow. You will be well rewarded." The next day, the younger brother took the sack to the tree. The raven was waiting in the tree just as he had promised. The raven flew down and said, "Climb on my back. Don't worry, I'm very strong. Bring the bag and hold on tightly." The man's curiosity overcame his fear. He climbed on the raven's back and they flew off to the sea. After some time, the raven flew down and landed on an island. Gold and precious jewels lay all about, sparkling in the sun. "Fill up the sack," the raven told him. "You and your wife will have enough to keep you in comfort for the rest of your lives. But won't the sack make me heavy? How will we return home?" The younger brother asked in concern. "Your sack is exactly the right size, 3 feet long. I can fly us back even when it's full," answered the raven. Once they had safely returned, the man thanked the raven for his kindness. He and his wife bought a larger piece of land and built a lovely new home. They lived comfortably but did not spend in excess. They shared whatever they could with the poor. One day, the couple invited the older brother and his wife to dinner. At first, the older brother refused to come, but then he heard how the couple was living well, even sharing with the poor. The greedy brother just had to find out how this had happened. So one night, the greedy brother and his wife came to dinner. "Your home is fine, brother," he said. "Tell me how you have managed to do so well." The younger brother shared the story about the raven and the star fruit tree. Of course, the greedy brother was frantic to own the tree and meet the raven. "Trade with me," he begged. "I'll give you all of my fortune if you let me have that star fruit tree." The younger brother agreed, and the exchange was made. The greedy brother waited by the star fruit tree each day. As before, the raven came to eat its fill. The brother spoke to the raven, and it told him to bring back a 3-foot long bag. In his greed, however, the brother brought a much bigger bag the next day. The raven took the brother to the island and told him to fill up his bag. The greedy brother got to work. He filled up the bag, and when it was full, he filled up his pockets and his hat. The greedy brother climbed onto the raven's back. It took off into the air, struggling with the weight of the gold and jewels. The raven flew back over the sea, straining with the extra weight of the larger bag. But even the strong raven couldn't keep going after some time. The raven swayed and dipped. The greedy brother and all his riches slipped into the sea and was never seen again. Each summer, the raven returns to the starfruit tree, and each summer it eats its fill of rich, ripe, golden fruit. And the local people are happy to share their fruits with the hungry raven. All right, so now that we read that folktale, I was thinking so many different things while I was reading, so many different questions that I wanted to ask you guys. And I want you to be directed over here to page 30 where it has words to know. You got dishearten, excess, flourish, frantic, and inheritance. This would be our glossary, right? It tells us what each word means and how to find it. You know, we don't always have to go to a dictionary to find the meaning of a word because we have a glossary that's in the back of our book. So we have 3 questions also at the end of the book. And question number 1 says, do you think the younger brother was wise to trust the raven? Question number 2 is, why did the older brother trade his fortune for the starfruit tree? And question number 3, in what ways was the older brother shown to be greedy? So I'm going to come up, I want you to think about those questions that I just said, but also there's going to be a form that's going to go along with this story, and we're just going to dive deep into this book for about 2 days. So we'll work on this book for Monday and Tuesday of this week. But I know that there is a lot of information, and I can't wait to gauge your thinking and see what you're thinking about this book. And I want to know how you feel about this book, because I know whenever we did folk tales in the classroom, y'all would love folk tales. So now we're going to get started. So here we go. Feel free to read the book again. Always go back in the book if you need help finding the answers. And let's stay focused, okay?